Good morning, students. Today we'll be studying the chapter number 5 When I Was 12. I hope you all are doing well and you all are studying well at your place. So let's read this chapter When I Was 12. Over here, this is a very beautiful sentence that the title of this chapter When I Was 12. It means that when I was 12 years old. See, this is a new way of saying that when I was 12-year old, instead of this years old, we used to that when I was 12. So let's just study this chapter. We'll be coming to know that what this chapter is about. When I was 12. See, this chapter is an autobiographical account of a famous cartoonist, R.K. Lakshman. See, this person, he is so renowned cartoonist that we usually used to see her his comic books, and the cartoons on the TV channels also. And what is an autobiographical? Auto means self. What do you mean by auto? Auto means self, and biographical means writing of ourselves. खुद के बारे में लिखना जब हम लिखते हैं ना ऑटोबायोग्राफी like the autobiography of a famous scientist APJ Abdul Kalam. So this is an autobiography which is written by himself only, which is written by उनके हाथों से खुद लिखी हुई है. That is known as autobiographical. Sometimes it is biographical. That is when we make the other person to write for us. That is known as biography. Okay. This is about the cartoonist R.K. Lakshman childhood and his passion for drawing. And he was so passionate for his work that he used to draw several cartoons character over in his life. He narrates that how he started drawing on his own and inspired by the things he saw around him. And he narrates. What do you mean by narrate? Narrate means giving the life stories. When we used to narrate something, that means we are explaining our life situation. Suppose we are narrating the lifestyle of a person who is in jail. So he will be explaining you that this happens in jail, this happens in jail. He used to tell all his life stories. So this narration is actually the live examples, giving live examples and then explaining. That is known as narrate. So over here, he used to do drawings on his own, that is, drawings of the cartoon, which is inspired by the things. He was so inspired by the things that he saw around him. Whatever he used to saw around him, he used to draw the drawings, right? And he was awarded the Raman Magase Award and the Padma Vibhushan. These both awards, they are very prestigious awards and given to the famous personalities, and he was one of them who got this Padma Bhushan and Raman Magase Award. This award is basically given to the famous cartoonist. Let's just read. We all went to Kannad Municipal School. We all went to over here. They have talked about several people. That is why they went to this municipal school, and it was the most elegant school, not the kind of municipal school we usually have today. He's saying that these schools are so elegant, they are so beautiful, they have so much beautiful structures, and they are not like those schools that we see today. That is today's municipal school, they are not well furnished. So he's comparing with today's school, that school in which they are actually, that is the Kannada municipal. Don't forget, the Maharajas of Mysore himself took a special interest in the school. Don't forget कि जो महाराजा हैं किसके Mysore is again a state, and he himself used to take a special interest in this. All the teachers, with rare exceptions, they were actually excellent. What they are saying over here, the faculties, the teachers, the tutors, they are exceptionally brilliant over there in this school, right? And all your younger days were completely wrapped up in an experience that we had at the school. They are saying that you will be having an exciting experience in this school, and the teachers and have to pass an examination to get admitted in this school. Means teachers, to take a job in this school, they have to give the entrance exam, because over here the teachers are recruited on exceptional basis. That is why they are saying that the teachers over here, they are totally brilliant and they are exceptional. Every child dreads the presence of a teacher, but I have a particular nasty one. What they are saying, that every child dreads the presence of a teacher. Every child, they get the individual attention of the teachers. Like the teacher is actually welcoming the diversity of students that we see in the culture over there. And of course, I have a particular nasty one. I have one of the basic interest in one of them. Being an arithmetic teacher, I don't think that he had any sense of compassion or pity. They are saying being an arithmetic teacher, arithmetic means mathematic teacher, he must not have an interest or compassion or pity. मीन्स कोई दया भावना वाली उसके अंदर कोई फीलिंग नहीं होगी, बिकॉज ही इज अ मैथमेटिक टीचर. He was only committed to his arithmetic. That means he was only committed to numbers, because an arithmetic teacher basically plays in numbers, so he talk and behave in numbers only. Because over here the teachers are recruited on exceptional basis. Somebody has three mangoes, someone has four together, how much? So he is just giving an example that this is how a teacher gets busy. This arithmetic teacher, he used to say somebody has three mangoes, sometimes had somebody has four mangoes. So this is how he used to interact with the students. This simple thing we could not get the hang of. Means we could not get the hang of, means we can't even more of this, because this arithmetic teacher has a nature in his, has a nature in him of talking in mathematics, in talking in numbers. We could have, but he was such a formidable character that we felt he's such a formidable character, means he's so much formal in his works, he's so much like not distracted by the other ways, that we feel that even if we got the right answer, we would have been beaten anyway. They are saying that he is too much disciplined, he's so much strict, too much stern, too much formidable, that even if we got the right answers, then we are also scared कि might be we can't get the punishment from this arithmetic teacher. So we mumbled and we twisted our ears and shouted. What do you mean by mumble? Means mani man mein bolna. And he twisted our ears and shouted. Twisted our ears means kaan ghumaya, and shouted that he was the target of my caricature. He was the target of my caricature, means the cartoons that I used to make in my notebooks. He, I am the target of him. And over here, who used to make the caricatures? That is R.K. Lakshman, because he was very much passionate about drawing. Whatever he used to make, he used to see around him, he used to draw that. And one day, he had written the usual sums on the blackboard. See, one day his teacher has written some of the sums on the blackboard, and Ram has three mangoes, Krishna has four, and it was a simple sum but quite beyond me. See, R.K. Lakshman was too dumb at that time, because he used to write poetry about, and he was passionate about drawing the cartoon. Over here, caricature means drawings of the cartoon. And he was like, it was so simple sum that his teacher has written that Ram has three mangoes, Krishna has four mangoes. So how many total mangoes are there? But this Raman, he was too dumb that he was not able to solve it. And I thought he did not ask me. So I sat hiding behind the others. He, what did he thought, that my teacher is not asking me, he is asking someone who is behind me. So he just hid himself behind any of the students. उन्होंने खुद को अपने से छुपा लिया. Who like me were all these short little boys. And what he's saying, that R.K. Lakshman was too short like the other boys, so he hid himself behind those boys. I start sketching and it looked very much like a tiger. Again, this R.K. Lakshman, he starts sketching and it looked like a tiger. A man with bristling mustache, teeth, and all that developed as the question went on. But जैसे जैसे a teacher was asking the question, I was actually busy in making the cartoon of a tiger with the big mustaches. Mustaches means मूछें, with the big teeth, and all that developed as the questions went on. Or जैसे जैसे teacher was asking the questions, and I was just bristling means I was just scratching my book and making the cartoon character of a tiger. He was in the first row and I was in the last. And one their friends, he was in the first row and I was in the last row. I get involved in caricature and I was totally involved in making all the drawings of the cartoon characteristics. I felt a piercing pain in my left ear, and I felt a piercing pain. Like say when we used to make piercing in our ears, na. So he, over here, the teacher just rolled his ear, and he felt little pain because his teacher came and saw him. I turned and saw that his monster was twisting my ear for having drawn him. Again, over here, the monster is actually the teacher who was twisting his ear, who was twisting his ears. So, you have drawn me. I said, no, sir, I didn't drawn you. What he's saying, that his teacher is saying, oh, अच्छा तुमने मेरी फोटो बनाई है, तुमने मेरी तस्वीर बनाई है. So he's saying, no, sir, I didn't drawn your picture. But he could recognize it through all the likeness to a tiger that it was he. What he is saying that this he was actually this teacher was actually comparing himself with the tiger, that I knew that you must have drawn my picture only. Of course, I was punished. And who was punished? R.K. Lakshman was punished because he was busy in making the creatures. He was busy in making the tiger caricature. So that was the time I realized the art of caricature, and I saw, my God, indeed, this does not look like a tiger. But he's saying that, my God, I was so much surprised with the power of a caricature, that how the cartoons can also display a huge bundle of emotions. And my attempt was not to draw a tiger, but I drew the face of a tiger. What he's saying, that my attempt was not to make a tiger, it was just I draw the face of a tiger, right? And subconsciously as an extension of the man's personality. And subconsciously means somewhere in the mind that is not working at that time. It felt like the face of my teacher only. See, we have two parts in our mind. One is our conscious mind and one is our subconscious mind. See, conscious mind is those mind. It is that mind, like just now I'm standing in front of you and I'm explaining you several things. So I'm explaining you this chapter. This is my conscious mind because I'm working according to my will. But there is another mind in our head, that is the subconscious mind. It is that mind which works while we are asleep. जब हम लोग ऐसा ड्रीमी सिचुएशन में रहते हैं ना कि आई विल बी डूइंग दिस, if I will have 1 crore rupees, I'll be buying this, I'll be doing this, that all those thoughts that keep us or indulge in our luxury, and we are like sapne, we are doing daydreaming, that mind is known as subconscious mind. That is why the teacher is actually comparing the drawing, comparing the caricature of this R.K. Lakshman, who has drawn the personality of the tiger face over here. That is why teacher in his subconscious mind he is thinking that might be I'm scolding R.K. Lakshman. That is why in his anger he made out a caricature that looked like a tiger face, but actually it is the teacher itself. So this is actually how the subconscious mind is actually comparing, making him compare this tiger face with his own personality. To me, it was a tiger. To me, it was a tiger means for him, that is for R.K. Lakshman, it was a tiger. From then on, it almost became a hobby for me to liken the human figures to animate the object or animals. And from that moment, from that period of time, I started becoming more passionate about the drawing, and it became my hobby. Now it became my passion to draw the inanimate objects. Animate means to do the copy of the objects and the animals, whatever I used to see around me, I used to draw the cartoons of those things. You might ask what it is that relates the things or creatures to a personality. Again, he's saying that what it is, वो ऐसी क्या चीज है जिनको आपने मेरे क्रिएचर को एक ह्यूमन पर्सनालिटी से क्या कर लिया, रिलेट कर लिया, कंपेयर कर लिया. आई यूज टू स्टैंड एंड वॉच द सिटी बस. what he used to do, he used to watch the city bus, stand and watch the city bus. Sometimes we are waiting on a railway station, sometimes we used to wait on a bus stand, on an airport, so we used to see the buses that are moving by. Sometimes we used to see the planes that are flying high in the sky. So this similarly, he used to stand on a bus stand and he used to look at the buses. I looked, it looked like someone I knew, and और वो क्या क्या लगता था कि someone I knew, someone I am very much familiar with it. People spilling out of the bus and began to take the shape of the giraffe or a monkey or a card or a Cadillac belonging to one of the Mahara. See over here, actually, what is being that people spilling out of the bus. Spilling means making, keeping their face out of the window and began to take the shape of the giraffe. Sometimes used to take the photograph of the giraffe, sometimes a monkey. See, sometimes we used to imagine the shadows into some different creatures. Cadillac belonging to one of the Maharajas of Mysore that is used to stand in the porch next door, or next door may sometime it is like the Maharaja of Mysore that used to stand in the porch next door. Porch means the portion that is in front of our balcony. We have windows, we have doors. So वहाँ पे जो area रहता है, that is known as porch. To me, it looked like a prince. For me, it looked like a prince. And there is a personality that get rubbed off on inanimate objects, and there is a personality that I found that like copying those objects, and that is why I used to draw that. Even today I feel I got nothing out of 2 plus 4 minus 1. He's saying today also I feel कि मेरे को कुछ नहीं मिला ये मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ के 2 plus 4 3 plus 4 minus 1. I gained something invaluable that day in the classroom, and he is saying that in that arithmetic classroom I gained nothing. कि 2 plus 4 2 plus 4 doing all these arithmetic sums plus minus multiply इन सब से मुझे कुछ नहीं मिला है किसे आर के लक्ष्मण को. I'll tell you of another incident that is connected with the art of caricature. He is again explaining you with the another incident that took place in his life with the art of caricature, means with the art of this cartoon. The art I have chosen is one that rubs everyone on the wrong side. He is saying he this art that I have choose that I used to make the cartoons out of something out of my imaginations. People used to take it in a wrong way. See, if you are a regular reading rat, then you might have seen that there is a page near the editorial, that is the page number 8 or page number 9 of our newspaper, the editorial. And below that editorial, there is a speaking tree. And over there, you can see several characters, cartoon characters. They basically shows the conversation between two ministers, sometimes the voting elections period, whatever will be the hot media at that time. Sometimes this cartoon creature that depicts the living situations. So this is how he's saying that drawing these cartoon creatures can take someone to a wrong side, because if he is making healthy characters, suppose if a cartoonist is making a healthy character, but sometimes our mind don't know of another people mind, that it can take to a wronger side also. From the prime minister to the policeman, from the president to the priest. I have already told you, sometimes these cartoon characters of the prime minister, sometimes of the election ministers, sometimes of this police, sometimes of the president, and even of the priest. Who are the priests? Priests are the pandits. They all are ridiculed. Ridiculed means they are made fun of. I have already explained you this. These cartoon characters can ridicule these personalities also. As you are a regular reading rat of newspaper, so you can easily see on the editorial page below the editorials there is a cartoon sketches that are made, and you can see that those prime ministers are ridiculed by drawing these different characteristics, that is the caricatures of these personality. And what he is saying that this is my profession, और ये क्या है, ये मेरा profession है, that is drawing the different caricatures. So long it is about other people likes and dislikes. Some people used to like those cartoons, some people don't like these cartoons. See, one more thing, you can see this caricature in our day to day lives. We use Blinkit. I hope you all are familiar with this app, that Blinkit app, that brings anything to us in our door in just several few minutes, in few minutes, like in 10 minutes or 15 minutes. We see the Blinkit bags if there is an occasion taking place. Like I'll tell you my incident that at the time of Raksha Bandhan, I ordered chocolates for my brother, and when I blinked those chocolates for my brother and the Blinkit parcel it entered into my place, then what I saw, that bags that in which my chocolates were actually inhaled, I saw that on those paper bags you can see different caricatures of the caricatures of brothers and sisters depicting their relationship, depicting the Raksha Bandhan ideas. If you have ever blinked, then you must have seen that there are a lot of different beautiful caricatures that are drawn on the Blinkit bags also. Over there you can also see that sometimes on occasions like on Janmashtami, if you order something, then you can see these characters, these Blinkit orders, these bags, they have different caricatures that are drawn on those bags. And similarly, it was a profession of R.K. Lakshman because he was a famous cartoonist who used to draw different creatures that he used to see behind, or you can say around him. And it was my sister's wedding, a very big day affair, a very big affair, a very big day actually in the south. And the one who is very important at the time of wedding is the cook. And of course, we can see at the time of wedding, food is the most important thing, as people used to visit and eat those delicious food. And over on that occasion, cook is the one who used to cook different food, different varieties, different delicious food, and he is that very important personality. He was treated like a prince because the entire reputation of the wedding, it depends upon the man cooking. At that time, at the wedding time, wedding moment, where this cook, that is, you can see this cook, he used to get the treatment like a prince because the reputation of the whole wedding affair, it depends on the single man, that is this cook, because his cooking will definitely be the secret admirer on everyone's stomach. सबके पेट की क्या है वो, एक, आप कह सकते हैं एक, बेसिकली आप कह सकते हैं ना, हम किसी के दिल का रास्ता अपनाना है तो हमें पेट से ही जाएगा, तो दैट इज काइंड ऑफ थिंग. So that day when he came, there was a general cry. He has come. There is a general cry कि आ गए हैं वो cook. He has come. People who never stood up for anyone else stood up. जो लोग कभी नहीं खड़े होते थे, वो उस टाइम पे क्या हो गए उस कुक के लिए. They were all greeting him. They were all welcoming him. How to entertain him, to offer a coffee to him is just not done because he is the one who makes the excellent coffee. क्या हम उसको entertain कर सकते हैं by offering him a well coffee? No, he is only the cook. He can do several things. He can make several dishes, several drinks, and he is the one who himself makes a excellent coffee. Discussions began, and everyone hung upon the words. What do you want, and how they can entertain this cook? And everybody was in dilemma. Everybody was in confusion that how to make that person, how to make that cook entertain. And we do not have to tell that what we want. We don't have to tell कि what he want. हमें नहीं पता कि इसको क्या चाहिए है. You know best. तुम्हें खुद पता होगा. That pleased him, और जो कि उसको क्या करेगा, खुश करेगा. As after an hour, he said that I want this much rice. After an hour, after 1 2 hour, like after the time passed, he said कि मेरे को क्या चाहिए, थोड़े से चावल चाहिए and कुछ घी चाहिए. He is saying that I need some rice and some ghee. While all this was happening, I was in the corner of the room sketching as usual because see, everybody was busy, and but this R.K. Lakshman hid, has hidden himself in the corner of a room, and he was making a sketch of this cook only. And I was a compulsive sketcher right from the age of 3. But he's saying that at the age of 3, I started doing the sketching. And while I was sketching, I was listening to the conversation also. At that time, this R.K. Lakshman was beautifully sketching the picture of this cook, and he was also had an ear to all the conversation that takes place around that corner. And it seems like we are ordering enormous quantities of food, but in those days everything was so cheap. See, they were ordering, actually they were ordering enormous quantity. Enormous means very huge quantity of the food, But in those days, every time everything was very cheap. Everything was not as expensive as today it is. Discussions ended and he was about to go when someone said, "You can't leave without coffee." Of course. See, when his all chores were done, at that time someone just stopped him and said that you cannot leave without coffee. We can say now that if someone comes at our place after doing the discussion, we say कि नहीं नहीं आप कॉफी पी कर तो जाइए please. This is how they are saying that you cannot leave from here without coffee. Of course, it won't be good, but we will be highly honored. He sat on. They are saying, of course, it will be not as delicious, not as tasty as you make, but still, please just sit down and have a cup of coffee. Everybody was relaxed. To get the man himself was difficult, but to get the man to sit down and have a coffee, what they are saying, to get the man himself was difficult. खुद को ही किसी को बिठाना was difficult, but to get the man to sit down and have a coffee is much more difficult for that. Means he was sitting himself, working for hours, making different large quantities of enormous different delicious food, but making him sit and have a cup of tea or a coffee is actually a difficult thing. At that time, one of my cousins saw my caricature and began to giggle. Giggle means hasne laga, and one of my cousins he just saw my caricatures. Who? That is R.K. Lakshman's caricature. Ha ha ha! The laughter spread like wildfire. वो क्या होने लगे इतना मतलब wildfire means जोर जोर से they were laughing. Everybody want to have a look at the sketch. Now everyone was so curious that they want to look at the sketch which was made by R.K. Lakshman. The group started moving towards me behind the pillar. Means behind the pillar. Pillar के पीछे I was drawing at the corner and everybody was moving behind the pillar. And the man found that his circle was diminished. And the man found that Cook found those people that were sitting around him, it was diminishing. Means कम होने लगे because everybody was moving towards R.K. Lakshman that is behind the pillar. What is it? He asked good humorously. What he said? He, what actually he said? What is it? क्या है ये? उसने उसको बहुत ही तहजीब से ह्यूमरली उसको दिखाया. Everybody thought that it was a good likeness, but he took one look and fell grimly silent. Everybody thought कि पता नहीं क्या होगा. But while seeing the caricature of the famous R.K. Lakshman cartoon, everybody fell silent. Everybody was totally silent. I am not going to cook for this marriage, he said, began to make his way out. He's saying that I won't be making anything for this marriage. And he was like, Chalo mera rasta chodo, I am just going out. Members of the family, senior ICS officers, and in the high government post ran after him. And everybody was running after him. Ki bhai, kya banaya hai is bande ne? You have called me here to insult me, he said. आपने मुझे यहाँ पे बुलाया है to insult me? I have cooked for the Maharaja. मैंने क्या करा है? Everybody was running behind this cook and he said that you have called me here for insulting. I have made such a delicious food for Maharaja. I have cooked for the Supreme Court judges. मैंने Supreme Court के judges के लिए भी बड़ी बड़ी personalities के लिए खाना बनाया है. I have cooked for her, but never had been I have been insulted like this. What he said after seeing that caricature, he said that I have never been insulted like this. I have made food for such big personalities. Just goodbye, and I'm stamping out. Stamping out means putting your foot out of the entrance. And then a very clever uncle was called upon to woo him back. How he did it, and it is another story. And what they are saying, he see this ये एक और ऐसा इंसिडेंट है that took place in his life कि how he made that cook ran away from that place and how he insulted him by making that beautiful caricature of that cook. You might think that I was roundly scolded for this major catastrophe. What do you mean by catastrophe? It is a big disaster, the big blunder that you did. I was actually scolded for this. मुझे इसके लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा डांट पड़ी थी. I wasn't. My family always supported me. Was saying कि आपको क्या लगता है that I was scolded? He said no, I wasn't. My family has always supported me in drawing all those caricatures. that I have so far made. I don't know why, as an enlightened family, my parents neither encouraged me nor discouraged me. He's saying I was so enlightened, I was so blessed that my family never encouraged me nor discouraged me. See, you can see this neither and nor. And mercifully, they left me alone. Mercifully means very prettily, they just left me alone. Do whatever you feel like. These same parents left me with a piece of chalk at the age of 3. He's saying that when I was 3 years old, my parents had left me with a piece of chalk, and this changed to a pencil at the age of 6 to 7. And this age, my age from 3 it changes into 6 to 7 by using this chalk, means I covered the distance from 3 to 6 to 7 by using a piece of chalk to a pencil. And then came color pencil, and then the paint boxes, and slowly he was highly he was highly upgrading his personalities. First he was using this chalk, and then he started using the pencil, and then he uses these paint boxes, then the sketches, then the pens. And I'm grateful to them that they are very proud of me as I progress from class to class, and they are very much, you can say, they are very much proud of me. They are delighted to me that I have been progressing it so far. So this is a beautiful chapter which has been written by R.K. Lakshman. Basically, it narrates the life stories of this R.K. Lakshman, that how at the age of 3, his mind makeup, it grew older and older, and he made personalities, different personalities of presidents, sometimes police, sometimes priests, their caricatures, and make people laugh through their cartoon characters. I hope you all like this chapter. And one thing you all will be doing at your place is you will be going on page number 10, or sometimes the page number 8 of the newspaper. Below the editorial, you will be seeing different cartoon characters, where you can similarly compare the cartoon characters that are made by R.K. Lakshman in the comic books, or you can say by some famous cartoon artists. Thank you. Please keep studying, stay healthy, and thank you.